To begin, take a comfortable seated position. For me, I like to sit with my hips on my heels. It's more comfortable than the traditional cross-legged position. Let's begin to feel your body. Relax any parts of the body that feel a little bit tense or tight that might be calling for your attention. Align the back of your head with the back of your pelvis. Soften your fingers, your shoulders, and your jaw. Soften around the eyes a little bit and start to notice your breath. Natural rise and fall of your inhale and your exhale. Perhaps you set an intention for your practice. As you're ready, come onto your hands and your knees. You can bring a blanket under the knees if they're sensitive at all. Inhale, lift your chest, tilt your tail slightly, keep the back of the neck long. And as you exhale, slide the hips back toward your heels as if you're going to child's pose, but you don't need to get there right away. You can go about halfway down or as far as feels comfortable for the back. Your inhale will bring you back up to a bit of a cow pose. Exhale will slide you back toward child's pose. So move with your breath, a couple rounds. As you exhale, really draw the navel in toward the spine. Squeeze all the air out. Try to make one movement flow right into the next, timed with the breath. Then come back up to a tabletop position. Start to turn the fingers out. You don't have to spin them all the way toward the knees, but just go to a point where you feel a nice stretch in the forearms and the wrists. Inhale and take your cow pose. Exhale, round into a mini cat pose. So you're rounding the upper back, dropping the head. You'll probably feel a little bit more intensity in the arm stretch and the wrists. So go to the point of easy sensation, never pain. Use your breath and your facial expressions to help guide you. Sometimes we'll tense up in the jaw or around the eyes when things get a little too intense. Just a couple times back and forth with your own breath, your own pace. Find your rhythm. When you're finished, gently turn the fingers back to face front. Walk the hands forward a little bit, tuck your toes, and lift your hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Press the legs back, but you can have a soft bend in the knees. You can widen the hands a little bit. Make sure the ears are in line with the elbows, and the navel is drawing up and in on each exhale. The next time you inhale, you'll gently lift the right leg up any height and begin to rotate the ankle. Couple times in each direction. Keep pressing the floor away with the hands and sending the opposite heel down toward the mat. When you're finished, come back to a even downward facing dog. And then we'll do the other side. So lifting the leg and rotating the ankle. Both directions. Send the weight a little bit more back as you lower the foot down. And then drop to your knees. Slide back to child's pose, full child's pose this time. Knees can be wide or together, your choice. Make sure you're breathing deeply. Next, take both your hands and walk them over toward the right side. And then pull back slightly with the left hip until you feel a nice stretch in the side of the waist. Take a few breaths there. Keep the head relaxed. And then reach the right hand more toward the front of your mat. Slide the left arm palm up underneath you. Relax the left side of your head on the mat and the left shoulder. Extend the right fingers toward the front of the mat a little bit more. And if it's comfortable, you can press the hips a little bit further down toward the heels. Breathe as deeply and fully as you can here. Bring your right hand back underneath the shoulder. Press yourself back up and then down into your child's pose. Both hands extended out. Notice any difference between right and left sides. And then walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. Right hip will pull back and down. Relax the head, relax the neck. Breathe deep into the side body. Next, walk the left hand forward toward the front of your mat. Turn the right palm up, slide onto the right shoulder and reach the right fingers to the side. Extend the left fingers toward the front of your mat. Maybe you even tent the fingers, making a claw. The hips reach back toward the heels. Breathe fully and deeply. Slide the top hand in, use it to help press you back up, and come back to your child's pose. Just feel the effects of those movements. And then gently press back up to your downward facing dog. You can take a few breaths here if you like. Look forward then and step your feet as many steps as you need to your hands. Come into a forward fold. You can bend the knees, relax the head and shoulders. The fingers can be on the floor or on a block, the shins or the thighs. Just be careful not to press on the knees directly. You can start to walk the hands up the legs and come all the way up to standing. Spine aligned, standing tall, not stiff. Inhale, take your arms, palms up overhead, interlace the fingers, except for the index finger. And as you exhale, just gently lean to one side. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale over to the other side. Do this a few times side to side. Don't force the body to go to any particular depth in this side stretch. Just exploring, trying to keep the body from moving front to back. Just move left to right. Use the inhale to come up and lengthen. The exhale to move to a side. Do about 3 times each side. Then you'll bring the arms out to the sides. Exhale, come down to a forward fold. Bend the knees, relax the head and shoulders. Place the hands firmly on the ground. Step the feet back to a plank position. And press the heels back, the hands directly under the shoulders. Draw the belly in and slide the shoulders down away from the ears. Neck is long. And just hold for a couple breaths. Each exhale, you draw the belly in. Each inhale, you fill up a balloon in the chest and the upper part of the back. Try to soften the face. On your last exhale, press up and back to downward facing dog. Step the left foot a little bit closer. Place the heel down and step the right foot up for warrior one. Bend into the right knee. Make sure you feel stable here. And when you're ready, take the arms up over the head on an inhale. Palms can face each other. And just make sure you feel stable in the legs. On an inhale, reach up through the fingers. As you exhale, straighten the front knee. Bring the arms down to the sides. Inhale, bend into the front knee. Arms come back up. Exhale, straighten the leg. Move the arms down. And inhale, come on up. Just notice any sensation in the hip flexor, the front of the back leg. Move mindfully with your breath. Arms moving as if through water, so they're not just dead arms or being quickly flung up or down. When you're finished, hands come to the floor, and you'll step back to that plank position again. Belly lifts. Start to rock forward and back from the heels. And then back to downward facing dog on an exhale. We'll come to warrior one on the other side. So step the other foot forward. Place the back heel down. Make sure the hips are facing forward in warrior one. So turn the back toes in as much as you need to so that you don't have to physically manipulate the pelvis forward. On an inhale, bring the arms up over the head. Relax shoulders. Exhale, straighten the leg, arms come down to the sides. Inhale, bend the knee, come up, and exhale, arms come down, leg straightens. Couple times like this. Just notice any difference between the right and the left sides of the body. When you're finished, the hands will come down. And let's step back to downward facing dog. You can widen the hands. Couple breaths. Inhale, take your right leg, reach it up and back. As you exhale, draw the knee toward the chest and try to step the foot forward between the hands. If it doesn't make it, you can help it up there. Plant the back heel down, turning the pinky toes out toward to be parallel to the back of the mat for warrior two. The hips and torso will be open to the sides, the arms out shoulder height. Fingers gently reaching toward the front and back, and the gaze is over the front middle finger. Root down through the feet, take a couple breaths. Then bring the forearm to the side, and the opposite arm will reach up toward the ceiling. Be comfortable with the neck. You can gaze up toward the top thumb if that's comfortable, or straight ahead or even down at the big toe. So just check it out, play with different options. Try not to put too much weight on the forearm. When you're ready, come back up to warrior two. Then straighten the knee, bring the arms up over the head. Exhale, come back to your warrior two. Inhale, straighten the knee, arms come up. Look forward, exhale, bend the knee, look over the middle finger, warrior two. Couple times like this. Inhale. Exhale, weight even on both feet as you move. And then we'll come into triangle pose, so you may want to block in the front of the front foot for this. You straighten the front knee, rotate the back hip down slightly. Bring a hand down to the block, maybe the shin or the thigh or the floor, and just turn at the rib cage, twisting open. Fingers come up toward the ceiling. Again, you can look up, straight ahead, or down at the block. Check in with the head and neck. Try to align it with the rest of the body. And just take a couple breaths. Notice any places of tension or tightness. The top arm will come down. You'll bend into the front knee and inhale back up to your warrior two. And then take the front arm down. Both hands come down. You'll step back to your downward facing dog. Notice right and left. Any contrast, any difference. Drop to your knees and take a child's pose. Again, just resting, paying attention to the body. Reconnecting with any intention that you set. And then lift back up, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. We'll do that on the other side. So as you're ready, the left leg will lift. Draw the knee in toward the chest, lift the hips a little bit, try to step the foot up between the hands, help it forward so the knee is bent over the ankle. Place the back heel down, get a nice stable stance. You're going to turn the back toes out slightly so they're parallel with the back of the mat. Warrior two here, gazing over the front middle finger. Lengthen up through both sides of the waist. Steady the breath. Left forearm will come to the left thigh. The right hand up toward the ceiling. You can also leave it on the hip. And remember, the gaze can be up or down or straight ahead, depending on what's comfortable, most comfortable for your neck. Not too much weight on the forearm. Distribute the weight equally between the front and back leg. Couple deep breaths. On an inhale, float back up to your warrior two. Reset the gaze. And then inhale, draw the palms together over the head, straighten the front knee, look out to the side. And then come back to your warrior two on the exhale. A couple times like this. Reach up. Exhale, sink. Inhale. And float into the exhale. Warrior two. We'll come into triangle on this side. So find your block. Bring it to the inside of the left foot. Straighten the left knee. Roll the right hip down a little bit, especially if you have any SI joint issues. That's been very helpful for me. We're going to spin open at the waist. Open up through the arms. Broaden across the collarbones. Notice any difference between the right and the left sides and breathe. Just notice, no judgment. Everything comfortable. When you're ready, look down, bend the front knee, come back up to your warrior two pose. You can set the block aside. And after a breath here, you can spin the palms down toward the mat and step back to down dog. Breathe and feel. Look forward, come back up to your forward fold. You can always use the block in your forward fold as well. Just place the hands, support the back. And then bring the hands to the legs, slowly roll up to standing, vertebrae by vertebrae, back to mountain pose. From mountain pose, bend the knee, sink the hips, come into chair pose. There are many arm variations for chair pose. Arms can be straight out in front of the shoulders with the palms down, up toward the ceiling at an angle, or at the heart center prayer position, maybe even at the waist. The important thing is that the knees and thighs are together, the low belly is pulled in, and the chest is lifted, so there's not an overarching of the low back. Place more of the weight in your heels. On an exhale, bring the hands down to the waist. Inhale, stand up straight, lift the right knee. Find your balance, and as you exhale, press the heel forward, straightening the knee to your degree. Inhale, bring it in, and then exhale, extend. We'll do this a few more times. Set your gaze so that you feel stable and give a soft bend to the standing leg. When you're ready, set the foot down and separate the feet hip-width distance apart. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, you'll fold forward with the arms out to the sides. Bend the knees as you need to. And then bend the knees a lot so you can grab the big toes with the peace fingers. Please bend the knees as much as you need to do this. Let the elbows splay out to the sides. Release the head and neck and relax the shoulders. Take a few breaths here. On your exhale, really draw that navel up and in. And as you inhale, think about filling the upper back. When you're ready, look up, release the toes, toe heel the feet together, bring your hands to your heart center and come back up to that chair position, sinking higher or a little lower. Remember, chest lifts, belly engaged. And from here, you're going to turn your torso to the right. If it's comfortable, bring the left elbow to the right thigh. Lightly press the hands together. Keep reaching the chest and the crown of the head forward and sinking the hips down. Check in with your knees. Make sure they're in one line. Generally, one knee would like to pop forward. Come up a little higher if that happens. You don't have to have the elbow touching the thigh. When you're ready, inhale, unwind, reach the arms out to the sides, lift back up, and exhale, hands to heart center. And then we'll come back to chair pose on an inhale. Any arm variation that's comfortable for you, settle into it. Maybe a little deeper. On an exhale, bring the arms down to the waist. Inhale, stand up straight. Lift the left knee up this time. And exhale, extend through the heel. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. A couple times on this side. Notice your balance, how it compares to the other side. And then gracefully set the foot back down, toe heel your feet to hip width distance apart. This time we'll slide the hands down the legs, come back to that forward fold, but bend the knees this time so much that you can slide the hands all the way under the feet. This is called gorilla pose. So the palms are at the base of the feet, big toes up to the wrists. Bend the knees a lot here. You don't have to have straight legs by any stretch of the imagination. Really relax the shoulders and the head. If you press the feet into the hands a little bit, you might notice a gentle stretch in the upper part of the back. It can feel really nice. And on the exhale, remember to draw the navel up and in. Just let go here. And then inhale, take the hands out from under the feet. You'll toe heel the feet back together. Come back up to that chair pose with the hands at the waist. We'll take that twist to the left side this time. So the elbow might come to the thigh. Check in with the knees. Make sure that it's possible and available to you today. Not too much gripping in the hands. Make sure the neck and head are comfortable. Breathe. You can come up a little higher if you like. And then on an inhale, come back to center, stand up, arms sweep out and up. And then you can bring them back down to the sides into mountain pose. Feet hip width distance apart. Step your feet out wide, comfortable distance apart. Bring your hands to your waist. Soften the knees. And on an inhale, take the arms out to the sides, shoulder height, palms down. Really relax the shoulders here. So move around a bit. On your next exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, turn the palms toward each other. And then inhale, come back to that first position. Straight knees, straight arms. We'll move a couple times with breath. Exhale, knees bend, elbows bend. Inhale, extend out. And just imagine how grounded you can be here in goddess pose as you bend the knees, and how expansive you can be in the 5-pointed star pose. Move at your own pace. Sink as low as you like. Make sure that you press the knees back when you sink down. Keep the elbows high as the shoulders. And then pause. Hold your goddess pose. Couple breaths. Relax your face. And then inhale back to 5-pointed star. Exhale, hands come back down to the sides and to the waist. Pigeon toe your feet, so turn them in. And if you have a block, you can place the block out in front of you, right between the legs. Hands to the waist. Inhale, lengthen up. Maybe you do a little back bend. And then exhale, fold forward. The hands can slide down the legs to the block or the floor. If you don't have a block, please do support the low back by placing the hands somewhere. If the floor is not accessible, the shins, the thighs, the ankles, please don't press on the knees. And really relax the upper back here. You might shake your head yes and no. If you're using the block or have the hands on something, just try to relax any gripping in the fingers. When you feel ready, you can remove the block and come up a little higher. Turn the left toes out slightly. Bend the left knee, straighten the right knee to your degree. You might lift the toes. Try to externally rotate that right thigh and make sure the kneecap is pointing straight up. And then we'll switch sides, replace the right foot, bend into the right knee. Straighten the left leg. Toes can come up. External rotation with that thigh and the knee points up. So just check in, especially the first time. You can bring one hand behind the leg instead of keeping both in front. And we'll just transition to each side one more time. Nice and slow. Pay really close attention to the sensation in the hamstrings or the back. The hips. Try to do this without too much weight on the hands. So use the abdominal muscles to keep you lifted. Now on this last one, we'll replace the foot. We'll walk the hands forward and then step back to downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal out the feet a little bit or lift the heels. And then you'll step the feet to the hands. Come into a forward fold. Halfway lift if you like. Bend the knees. And bring the hands up the legs to come back up to standing. Arms can sweep out and up. And then exhale, bring them back down to the sides. Next inhale, bring the arms up over the head once again. Exhale, flow forward. Relax the head. And we'll just step back here to downward facing dog. And get settled for a moment. On your inhale, take your right leg, reach it up, bend the knee, stack the hips, keep the shoulders and upper back square. And then bring that knee forward toward the wrist, ankle toward opposite wrist for pigeon pose. Flex the right foot, slide the left toes back. Lift the chest and pull it forward slightly. Make sure you're not rolling onto that right butt cheek. We want to stay centered. You can stay here. And just breathe into any sensation in the hip. You might imagine dragging the hands back toward the hips. If it's comfortable, you can come down to forearms. Make sure you're breathing and never straining. Soften through the upper back and the shoulders. If you're on forearms, walk the hands back under the shoulders. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and we'll step back to a plank pose. Press through the heels. On your inhale, tap the right knee down. Exhale, straighten the leg. And then do that on the left side. So we're just kind of walking the plank the way we do in downward facing dog. Nice strong core. The knees will come down. We'll bend the elbows and lower all the way down to the belly. On your inhale, lift your chest, reach the toes up off the mat. Think about getting long rather than high. And then exhale, open the legs out wide to a V position. Inhale, bring them back to center. And then exhale, lower everything down. We'll do that again. Inhale, chest and feet lift. Exhale, open up the legs. Inhale, bring the feet back together. And exhale, lower. No strain in the low back here. Use the posture muscles, use the core. Inhale, get long, rise up. Exhale, open. And inhale, bring the feet together. Exhale, come back down. Extend the right arm out, shoulder height, palm down. Come down onto the right side of your head and just roll gently onto the right side of your body. Do this very mindfully, especially if you have any issues with the shoulders. If it feels comfortable, take the top knee, bend it, and place the foot on the floor behind your extended bottom leg. And just breathe. You can always roll back closer to the belly to make yourself more comfortable. Take some of the intensity out of this. And then slowly roll yourself back onto your belly, hands under the shoulders. Press to a child's pose. Nice and relaxed. Settle in here. And then look forward, set your hands, tuck your toes, press up and back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, take your left leg, reach it up and back, bend the knees, stack the hips, weight even on the hands. And we'll bring that knee toward the wrist, ankle toward the opposite wrist for pigeon on this side. Back knee slides back, and chest comes forward. Flex the left foot to protect the knee. You can use a block under the left butt cheek if you find that you're rolling onto that side. Feel free to stay at the hands. Or if it's comfortable, walk the hands forward, come down to forearms. Just breathe here for a few rounds. Send that in-breath into the upper back and the chest. The out-breath initiates at the navel or slightly below. Check in with the face. Any of those areas that you typically hold the tension, especially when in a challenging shape. You can look up and slowly walk the hands back toward the body. Remove the block if you were using it. Toes tuck. Come back to your plank position. And make sure the head is in line with the spine. Begin to gently rock yourself forward. Bend the elbows lower down. Chaturanga nice and slow. Untuck the toes. We'll do our back bending series here again. So inhale. Chest and feet lift off. Exhale, legs will open into that V. Inhale the feet back to center and exhale, lower down. If you want a little bit more intensity here, you can do the same thing with the arms that you're doing with the feet. So you can lift the arms out in front, open them in a V position with the legs, bring them back, and lower down all together. That will be pretty intense though, so make sure you're not using the low back to do this. Use the posture muscles. Slide the shoulder blades toward each other. And on your last one, you'll lower down. Take the left arm out to the side, that shoulder height. Left side of the head comes down, roll gently onto the left. And you can take the right foot and place it flat behind you if that's comfortable. Another option is to take that right hand behind the back. You can try it out, and if you decide that it feels more comfortable to have the right hand back on the mat, you can bring it back there. Just experiment and explore. Be where it's comfortable and you can breathe. And then when you're finished, roll back onto the belly nice and easy. Hands come under the shoulders. Press up, back, child's pose. Notice any change in the sensation in the shoulders. And then come back to your tabletop and downward facing dog. Walk your feet to your hands, forward bend. Maybe the knees straighten a little more this time. Hands can walk up the legs, come back up to standing, mountain pose. Let's balance now. Feet hip width distance apart. Start to shift your weight into the right foot. And then peel the left heel up off the mat. Soften the standing knee. Lengthen up through both sides of the waist until you can pick the foot up off the mat. If it's available for you today, reach back with the left hand and grab the foot. Right hand can be at the waist or on the hip, or you can bring it up over the head. Soften through that elbow to relax the shoulder. Find a place to gaze and breathe. Allow yourself to wobble a bit from side to side. Balance is constant adjustment. You're building strength in that standing leg. When you're ready, you can lower the right hand down and then release the foot, lower it back down to the mat. Shake out any part of the body that feels like there was a little tension or tightness from doing that balancing. And then we'll do the second side. So the weight will shift into the left foot. And the right heel will peel up off the mat. Build it nice and slow, steady gaze. If the foot doesn't come into the hand, no worries. Just draw the knees together and lift the foot as high up toward your seat as possible. You can inhale the left arm up. And allow this side to be different. Just notice what you feel. See where you can relax. And on an exhale, bring the arm back down. And then you'll release the foot. Shake it out. Let it go. You can do that same balancing again. Or if you like, we'll move into more of a dancer pose. So again, starting with the right side, shifting the weight into the right foot, and building it the exact same way we did, step by step. Relaxed in the face and deep in the breath. If you feel comfortable, you can start to lean the torso forward very slowly. You'll press the foot away and pull it back with the hand. So there's a little circle of energy between the foot and the hand. You might feel a little stretch in the shoulder. Try to keep the knees moving toward each other. You don't have to lean far. Remember to have a little soft bend in the standing leg. When you're ready, tip the body back up. And lower the arm. And then you can lower the foot back down. Shake out between sides. Find your mountain pose position with the feet. And then left side. Hands start at the waist. As you're doing these balances, just check in with the breath. And you might also want to check in with the facial expressions. Sometimes we make faces when we're straining or struggling a little bit. So notice if the jaw gets tight or you're scrunching up around the eyes a little bit. You don't have to lean forward very far, and in fact, one side might feel way different than the other. So honor your body. If this leaning forward and pressing the foot back doesn't work for you today, then just do the quad stretch, staying upright. And if you fall, just smile, shake it out, and build it back up from the base, from the first position. Over time, the balance will become easier. Inhale to come back upright. The arm will come down. And then we'll release the foot. Again, shake out any tension or tightness from the body. Sweep the arms out and up on your inhale. And exhale, forward bend. Hands can slide down the front or the backs of the legs. And then walk your hands out in front of you. Step back to downward facing dog. And then drop your knees down to the mat. Untuck your toes and come back to child's pose. If you like, this time you can reach the hands back toward the heels. A little more restful version of child's pose sometimes, to just curl up. And bring the hands under the shoulders. And come to a seated position. You can slide the legs out in front of you, flex the feet as if you're standing on the front wall. And you can pull the sitting bones available by moving the flesh of your bum out of the way. Just let the fingers gently touch the sides of the floor. Sit up nice and tall. A soft bend in the knee can be helpful if sitting up tall here brings a lot of sensation into the hamstrings or the low back. Let's take a few breaths in staff pose. Practice sitting tall without support of a chair. And then bend the right knee, bring the foot flat and clasp the hands around the shin. Or if you can keep both sitting bones down, cross the leg over the extended leg. Sit up tall, bring the right hand behind you. And we'll gently twist to the right. You want to make sure that the chin stays in line with the chest. We can look back a lot further usually than we can turn the torso. So no strain in the neck, keep it in line with the chest and broaden through the collarbones. Each inhale, lengthen up, and each exhale, just relax. Let go of the idea of stretching. And then inhale, come back to center. You walk the hands behind you, turn the fingers toward your seat, and just bend the bottom extended leg. So you come into a figure 4 position with the top foot flexed. And on your inhale, press into the hands and the foot that's on the mat, come into a reverse table. You can drop the head back a little bit, but just look straight up at the ceiling. If you like, you can extend the foot out, a little more challenge. I'll keep it on the thigh here, the ankle on the thigh. On an exhale, lower down. And then you'll uncross the legs. Extend the legs out in front and shake out the wrists a little bit. You can rotate them. And then you'll bend the left knee. Right leg will be straight or towards straight. Again, you can keep the leg to the inside or cross it over. The left hand will come behind you. And you'll twist to the left. Inhales to lengthen and feel. Exhales to relax and to let go. Relax any gripping in the hands. And then inhale the head back to center. You'll keep the leg crossed over if it was. Fingers toward the seat. Scooch that extended foot so that it's flat on the mat. Comfortable distance from the hips, and lift the hips up. If you want to stay in a figure 4 position with the seat down on the floor and the ankle crossed over the thigh, you can do that too. Or you might reach the toes out. And the seat will come down. And you'll uncross the legs, will come down to lie on the back. Keep the knees bent and feet flat. Just let everything kind of sink down into the mat right now. You can bring the knees up into the chest. Relax through the shoulders. And then lower the feet back down. If you have a block, you can bring the block between the knees. Arms down at your sides, palms face down. Take an inhale and peel the hips up off the mat. Gentle squeeze on the block, not too much, but enough that it doesn't fall. And you'll exhale and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Completely relax all the way down. And then inhale, lift the hips. You can optionally also lift the arms up over the head. Make sure you bend the elbows so the shoulders are relaxed and the backs of the hands can fully touch the floor. And then as you exhale, the hips will lower, the arms will come back down to the sides. Try to touch everything down at the same time. Again, fully relax at the bottom. And then inhale, peel up. Try to do it a little slower this time. And exhale. The arms will move a little quicker. It might take you a couple times to find that point for the arms that doesn't feel like you're straining or pinching the shoulders. So bend the elbows more than you think you should. You'll probably find a little stretch across the chest here. Nice deep breath out as you come back down. And inhale, bring the knees up, take the block out if you were using it. Draw the knees in a little closer. Rock a little bit from side to side. Just massage that low back. And then cross the right leg over the left, really high up on the thigh, like you were needing to use the restroom. And you're going to gently guide that right knee toward the center of your chest. You can flex the right foot, maybe slide the left hand down to reach the ankle or the foot. You might feel a gentle stretch in the right butt cheek. Don't be where it's too much. This one can be pretty intense. Make sure you're breathing and the face is calm and soft. And then when you're ready to release, just bring that left foot back down to the mat. You'll open your arms like wings to the side, palms face up, and then gently take both knees over to the left. You might send the feet forward a bit to make this comfortable, or bring a block underneath both knees. If it's comfortable, turn your gaze to the right. And relax here as much as possible. Deep, full breaths in. Maybe even a little bit longer exhale. Gently pull the belly in to squeeze all the air out. When you're ready to come out, an inhale brings the head back to center. The next inhale brings the knees back up. You can uncross the legs, bring the knees up toward the chest, hold a kneecap in each hand, and rock a little bit. Maybe take some circles with the knees. And then we'll prepare to do the other side. So cross the left leg over the right, nice and high up on the thighs. Use the hands to gently guide the knee toward the center of the chest. Flex the left foot. Maybe you reach the right hand down toward the ankle or the foot. Wherever the shoulders can stay pretty relaxed and the stretch inside or around the left butt cheek is not too intense. Smooth, deep breathing. And then set the bottom foot back down to the mat. Now open the arms out to the sides. And you'll bring the knees over to the right. Still crossed. Again, that block can be under the knees or a pillow or blanket, something to be supportive here. The gaze can be off to the left if it's safe and comfortable for your neck. You want to be able to relax as much as possible here. You can play with sending the feet a little further away so the knees aren't quite so far up into the chest. It'll be different on each side. Just feel what's right for your body today. An inhale brings the head back to center. Another inhale brings the knees back to center. You can uncross them. And again, take some gentle circles with the knees, maybe in the opposite direction this time. Notice how that low back feels. You might send the feet up toward the ceiling for a happy baby pose. The knees will be bent out to the sides toward the armpits. The hands can slide down to the shins, the ankles, or maybe the inner arches of the feet. And here in Happy Baby, you can rock a bit from side to side too, if you like. And tailbone slides forward and toward the mat. Relax as much as possible through the shoulders and the upper back. And then bring the knees back down. And we'll slowly extend the legs out one at a time. And if you like, flex the feet, interlace the fingers, reach the arms up over the head, stretching in opposite directions, getting a little taller here on your mat. A few breaths in and out. And then the arms can come down to the sides. Make a little space for the armpits. find a comfortable position for the shoulders so that the shoulder blades are connected. You can allow the feet to flop open. If lying flat on your back isn't comfortable, you can bring a folded blanket or a bolster under the knees. Or you might just place the feet flat with the knees bent. Sometimes that can be a little more comfortable on the back. And give yourself permission to relax here for a few moments. Allow the body to be heavy and feel fully supported by the mat. Soften the eyes and the jaw. Notice the state of your mind here at the end of your practice. And consider your breath, how you are breathing on the inhale and on the exhale. If the mind likes to wander in this pose, you're not alone. You can feel free to focus the mind by bringing its attention to the sensation of breath in the body, the gentle rise of the chest, the filling of the upper back on the inhale, like a balloon inflating in all directions, and the contraction of the low belly, drawing the navel down to the spine on the exhale. Feel free to pause the video and stay here as long as you like. When you're ready to come back, just turn the head gently from side to side. And then bend one knee, bring the foot flat, and then the other one. You can gently sway the knees from side to side until you rock all the way on to the right side of your body. You can bring the hands underneath the head, curl up here, and take a moment to thank yourself for your practice today, caring for your mind, your body, and your spirit. Use your hands and press up from this side position to a comfortable seat. Let the hands rest on the thighs or bring the hands to heart center in a prayer position. And just take a few breaths. Namaste.